Hey, Chicago, what do you say? It's the CHGO Cubs Podcast. It is Wednesday, December 20th. Is that correct?
Yeah, 20th? My mom's birthday is tomorrow, so yeah.
Happy birthday, Mom. Yeah, how about this, man? So, Luke Stuckmeyer, Cody Delmendo, thanks to everybody that's joining the live chat and waiting for us. We appreciate it. A lot of people getting their CubsCon tickets out there already. Best way to enjoy the CHGO experience is to jump in and subscribe to the CHGO Sports YouTube page. Then give us all the likes and the 5 stars and the thumbs up and all those cool things. We appreciate it. By the way, I see 17 thumbs up already. How about 18, 19, 20, 21?
Credit to the 17 people.
Appreciate it. Gary Ross says Boris kills the market. Yeah, we'll talk about him.
Will we?
Boris, not Gary, but Gary, maybe. Hey, you know what today is? We got a lot of stuff on the show.
Oh, it's Wednesday.
It is Wild Thought Wednesday. Huh? That's right.
That's the only time I've laughed today, so thank you, Sarah.
Still waiting on anything to happen for the Cubs. So Wild Thought Wednesday, we'll come up with one of those for you, run it by you, see what you think. We will
you yell at us.
Yeah, there's another possible Brewer on the move. Some stuff that John Morosi was talking about today, and another former Brewer, potentially, that, definitely a former Brewer, that I'd like to talk about for the Cubs. I'm starting to come around on it. But let's start with Wild Thought Wednesday, okay, Cody? Because we got to start it off hot. Got to start the show off hot. Hot. And we don't have a cheese head like Braggs was wearing earlier on the show, on the Bears show. So, Wild Thought Wednesday. First, John Morosi was on today on MLB Network, and he says, hey, after Yamamoto signs, look for both Willy Adames and Corbin Burnes to be traded by the Brewers, likely in separate deals. This division is just waiting to be won. Waiting to be won. I don't care who the Cardinals have signed, Lance Lynn, blah, blah, blah. The Brewers are resetting.
Feels like it.
Doesn't it?
Feels like it.
It feels like they're resetting. I'm not saying – I don't think the Brewers would ever trade Burnes to the Cubs.
No.
But I'm just saying it's just another sign that the division's right there. Mm-hmm. Don't just mail it in this offseason.
Yeah. I'm not saying that they're resetting to like full-on rebuild because they still have some nice players. Like Garrett Mitchell is nice. Chorio, who they gave that massive extension to for someone who's never actually played Major League Baseball. We'll see. They're clearly high on him. But from the pitching side, at least, it is kind of going to be up in question if they do actually move on from Burnes, just because they already are not going to have. Well, they non-tendered Woodruff because he's not going to pitch at all next year.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
So they'll have Peralta, and then they've been churning out arms over the years, but with Stearns out, Counsell out, will they be able to not only manage correctly, but also, choose the right guys? Will they still continue to develop guys the way they have over these last 5, 6, 7 years? I mean, legitimately, since 2018 has been the best stretch of Brewers baseball ever, and it's not really saying too much, but I mean, credit to them, whatever. So I am intrigued to see how they kind of rebound. Just because of how good they've been, or at least competitive they've been over the last handful of years, I'm not willing to sit here and say that, they're definitely going to be at the bottom of the division next season, just because, they still have Yelich, they still have Contreras, some of these young dudes they have coming up. You never know how they're going to play, but they found a way to be successessing. But
they're not all in.
Right. They're not all in. And again, if they do trade Corbin Burnes, that's a huge missing piece. And it's not surprising. You remember last year whenever they went to arbitration, that definitely tarnished their relationship with him. That's why I thought maybe they would have traded him at the deadline this year. Didn't happen, so here we are in the offseason, and they're probably going to get a huge haul for him, even for just 1 year. I think you can get a huge haul for a guy like Corbin Burnes. Been in the Cy Young race every single year the last couple years. He's durable. He's not going to go to the Cubs, unfortunately, I wish he would, just because he's great, but he's definitely a guy that wherever he goes, that team is getting significantly better.
So let me ask you this. It is Wild Thought Wednesday. If if we weren't talking about the two teams we're talking about, the Brewers and the White Sox, would you rather have Cease or Burns?
I would much rather have Burns. Absolutely.
I agree.
I think you'd have to give up. Well, first off, I think
if you weren't dealing with those two teams, and it was just you were dealing with Cleveland and you were dealing with San Diego.
Yeah.
Who would be your target there?
It would. I mean, again, it would be Burns. Now you get an extra year of control with Dylan Cease, but the thing about Cease is that 2 years ago, so what, 2022, he finished top 3 Cy Young race, and he in the AL. He was really good. He strikes out a ton of guys, but this past season he kind of reverted back to like what he was before 2022, which was a guy who clearly has incredible stuff, but he never goes deep into games because he walks too many guys. Pitch count's always too high. Like, again, nasty stuff, but never just to me, based off my eye test, that's basically what a lot I see. Doesn't help that the White Sox had terrible defense behind him this year too, but again, that's the one thing that I've always looked at and I'm like, dude, you got incredible stuff. You could just throw strikes consistently. He would be a perennial Cy Young guy every single year. That's what he was in 2022. But again, 2 years of control, and with the way pitching works in this league, you're gonna have to give up a ton to get a guy like him. And so, for me, I just think Burns has just had a better career. And I'd rather go for something a little bit more certain. I think that if you were to get Burns, there's a little bit more certainty there than with Cease. So, but either way, like, it's the same thing with Cease, and like whoever he goes to, I would bet that he would probably be better next year.
Well, we know there's bitterness between Brewers fans and Counsell coming to the Cubs, and the owner was surprised that Counsell left to go to the Cubs. I don't think he would approve a deal of one of the best pitchers in baseball to the Cubs for prospects. I don't think it's happening. So even though it's Wild Thought Wednesday, I'm taking Burns out of the equation. Now, that doesn't mean Jed Hoyer shouldn't pick up the phone and be like, hey, man, want to meet at the Mars Cheese Castle and have a chat? Like, maybe should Kenosha Outlets, want to meet at the Nike one? Let's go talk.
Ooh. At the Nike one.
Should probably happen. But Wild Thought Wednesday, we have seen the White Sox and Cubs make deals before.
We have. Included this guy.
Cody, let's make a deal. Let's get Dylan Cease on the Chicago Cubs. It's Wild Thought Wednesday. I have the base of the package ready to go.
Can we mention the whole reason why we wanted to do this to begin with?
Why?
Because the one dude who tweeted at us like yesterday.
A couple days ago, yeah, right?
Yeah, he tweeted at us yesterday. He was like, and I don't remember the account's name. We quote tweeted him, or I quote tweeted him on the CHGO Cubs Twitter account. And he was like, I would bet that the Cubs will get Cease back this offseason. I would put a heavy bet on it. And then it was like, for Cease, it would be Christopher Morel, Ben Brown, Alexander Canario. And then it would also include like Yohan Moncada coming back in the trade as well, which just kind of that was the one that really threw me off, because I just think that if the White Sox want to get maximum value back for Dylan Cease, they can't put Yohan Moncada in that trade.
All right, I'm gonna find the guy's name, because
credit to him for starting this conversation in mid-December when there's nothing happening.
Where is that? It was
credit to him.
It was. I can't find it.
It's not in Slack. It's like on.
I
Twitter
thought you
account.
put it in Slack.
I didn't put
today.
it in Slack. I see you looking at Slack, but
okay, it wasn't in.
Anyway,
Slack.
Yeah, that's why we're talking about this to begin with. But
but it is a name. I mean, you
Yeah.
got to throw out pitchers that you know are on the market. We know that Cease is obviously on the market. The White Sox are waiting for the best deal they can get. Do past trades with the White Sox make you that afraid of trading? No. I'm not afraid to trade with the White Sox, and here's why. First of all, new guy in charge, but still under the same umbrella.
Sure.
Chris Getz. And I've got the baseline package that's going to draw him in. I'll let Gary or whoever else add whatever prospects they want to add to it. Mm-hmm. But I'm already giving him guys that he's going to like. Madrigal, former White Sox player, probably was mad they traded him in the first place.
Oh, they definitely are so upset about it.
And number 2, Jose Cuas. Why? Former Royal. They love former Royals. They love former Royals.
They do love former
He could be the
Royals.
headliner in the package. Cuas could be the main guy we send back.
Oh.
Cuas, Madrigal, and somebody from AA.
Triantos.
What if they wanted Ben Brown?
Yep. I think that would definitely be something
Quas,
that they want.
Madrigal, and Brennan Davis.
That's not going to get it done, but I mean,
this is Wild Thought Wednesday. Wild Thought Wednesday. I'm not saying it's getting it done either.
Might as well throw in.
I didn't think they were going to hire Chris Getz to be their GM, but they did it.
Might as well throw in Mastroboni too. Am I right? No,
Barb's still worried about the Kimbrel deal.
Oh, she's never going to shut up about the Kimbrel deal. I still don't understand why she won't shut up about it either. Sorry, Godmother.
Barb does say, yes, trade them Quas, Madrigal, and some bums. See, so now Barb is trying to trade everybody. Barb's always trying to trade everybody.
She's definitely trying to trade everyone. Okay. On a realistic standpoint, you definitely have to include like Ben Brown. They're going to want a pitcher.
That's okay. You're getting Dylan Cease back.
And I'm not saying that I'm not against it.
And he's totally different than their other pitchers too, right? Like he's not the guy that Justin Steele is.
I don't know. The potential for Ben Brown is very high considering where he was as a prospect when the Cubs got him.
They'd be giving up a guy that could win a Cy Young.
Perhaps, yes.
Yeah.
I think he has like that kind of stuff to at least be a really good pitcher in the league, right? He entered the top 100 of MLB prospects last year. So like, yeah, there's definitely there's a high ceiling there. So related to that tweet that the guy tweeted us, like I do think Ben Brown and Canario makes sense if you really legitimately wanted to try and get Dylan Cease. I'm not willing to give away Christopher Morel for him, but maybe another prospect. Maybe
they do love outfielders who can't find a position.
Maybe Casey, maybe Alcantara. I'd be willing to move one of those two instead of Morel. I think those three. I mean, that's the conversation, I guess. I wouldn't move Christopher Morel for Dylan Cease. I would perhaps consider moving Morel for Corbin Burns, but that's still kind of iffy because it's 1 year. I'm not sure.
If Dylan Cease had 4 years left of cost control, it's still a pretty good deal you're getting for Dylan Cease. But if he was on some incredible contract, then I would give up Morel and more.
Yeah, but
because
but he's got 2 years left control, and he's just been kind of inconsistent. You know what I mean? Like it's not like he's been.
He needs a reset. He needs to be reunited with the Cubs.
I don't know what he needs. I just like there's obviously a high ceiling there, and he is, the Cubs. If there is actual interest, like if the Cubs are actually kind of interested, like at least they know the guy. Like he came up in their minor league system.
Yeah.
So, like, there is some familiarity. Like, they know who the person is.
Come on, let's make it happen. Let's make a deal. Don't be afraid of former Cubs Sox deals. Some of them have been good.
To me, it's not like it's not like some kind of anxiety-ridden thing for me. The only thing that it does, that it creates anxiety, is that if it doesn't work out, then White Sox fans in my Twitter mentions are going to be annoying. That's it. Like, but you play the White Sox 4 times a year, 5 times a year. Like it's not gonna haunt you.
No,
it won't haunt you as if it's like you're playing. You traded someone to like the Cardinals or the Brewers or just another team in the National League that you're gonna have to play at least 6 or 7 or more times. You know what I mean? Like it. Does
Eloy really haunt you?
No.
Cease does a little bit.
That trade for Quintana has started to look more like a wash than ever after this last year, just because Eloy, when he does play, he's shown to hit, but he just hasn't been consistent, and he hasn't been able to stay on the field. And Cease, outside of 1 year, he's been a mixed bag too. So
what if the Sox wanted
I don't know
Canario, Ben Brown, and Quas, because they always want somebody from the Royals.
Yeah, sign me up.
I would do 100%.
They're going to definitely want more than that, but
of course they will. But I'm just I'm throwing it out there into the universe, hoping it flies back
wisdom
at me.
While you're at it,
and they can have wisdom to play third base.
There you go.
Wisdom could be your third base guy.
Throw in Madrigal as well.
Madrigal could be part of the deal. Before we get to our good friends at Chevy, do you have that? I don't know if Cody knows about this, that Matt Eberflus did talk about me.
Yeah, do you want to? I have a screenshot ready. Do you want to play the video that Steven made?
Do we have the audio as well?
Matt Eberflus.
I think
Matt
so.
Eberflus was discussing.
I'm going to have to look at it real quick. I can check to have the video on now.
We'll do it after the ad break. First,
This is
I want to tell you about our partner, Ray Chevrolet. They're having the biggest sale of the year right now. Make your way to Ray Chevrolet on Route 12 in Fox Lake to join in on the savings for their model year-end sales event. As one of the top-selling Chevy dealers in the Midwest, you're always able to shop one of Chicagoland's largest Chevy inventories. And right now, they're trying to make room for those incoming 2024 models. So all of their current inventory must go. Plus, you can find the perfect tailgate vehicle at Ray Chevrolet because they now have over 100 new Silverados in stock, and that's not all. Get 0% financing with $0 down and 0 payments until the spring of 2024. Or save $3,000 on a new Chevy Blazer, $4,000 on an Equinox, or over $10,000 on a Silverado. And to top it all off, they are pricing over 125 vehicles under $20,000. Seriously, guys, you can't get pricing that's more affordable than that. And I know everybody loves the word free, F-R-E-E. That's what you get this month at Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake. A free oil change. All you need to do is mention the 4 magic letters, CHGO, when you schedule your oil change online or on the phone. You better hurry. This exclusive offer ends December 31st, New Year's Eve, 2023. Visit Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake or raychevrolet.com to get your model year-end savings. They've been serving the community since 1963. Find new roads.
Becky says that she has all Chevys.
Nice, Becky. Becky, we got to get you out to Ray Chevrolet. She's looking for a Corvette, maybe. Becky, that would be great. I'd like to see you riding in maybe a blue Corvette.
Yeah.
Blue Corvette.
There you go.
A lot of people ask me, what is Prize Picks? You know, I get that a lot on the street. Hey, Luke, what's Prize Picks? What's that all about? It's the largest daily fantasy sports platform in North America. And they are the easiest and most exciting way to play DFS. And it's just you against the numbers. Instead of battling thousands of other players, including pros and sharks like Cody, you pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings just roll on in. Prize Picks is the most fun I've had, winning up to 25 times my money on basketball. You just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projected stats, and place your entry. Basketball season's here, right? So you can pick combo projections across football and basketball from the Specials League, a league created specifically for combo projections include 2 or more players from different sports or leagues. For example, DeMar DeRozan plus DJ Moore at 10.5 combo of 3-pointers made and receptions. Prize Picks is really simple to play. I can make my picks, submit my entry in less than 60 seconds. So go to prizepicks.com/CHGO and use the code CHGO, again, those magic letters, CHGO, for a first deposit match up to $100. That's prizepicks.com/CHGO and use that code CHGO. Daily fantasy sports made easy.
Take Kobe White to go over 22.5 points tonight, and him to make
right around there, right?
to go
20,
over
25?
3.5 threes if you want. $20 to win 60 on Prize Picks tonight.
I'm ready if you guys are ready.
So I was listening to the highly rated Chicago Bears podcast.
Is it highly rated?
CHGO Bears podcast. Well, like 80,000 people are watching the postgame shows now.
That's fair.
Like 80,000 people.
They are highly
and
rated.
I heard a quote on there, and I was like, wow, I feel honored. I feel honored that at one point, Adam Hogue threw it to a soundbite, and lo and behold, out of nowhere, the Flus starts talking about, well, here you go.
I love Luke. He's a great leader. I love Luke. He's a great leader.
You're gonna fire that guy? You're gonna fire that guy, Braggs? That's my guy. That's the Flus. I'm in with Carm now. That's the guy.
I'm back in on him too. I still have that picture of me and him outside Wrigley Field after the Morgan Wallen concert this summer. This is a pro Matt Eberflus podcast now.
Right?
Credit to us.
He backs us.
Yeah, he backs us.
I mean, this is like that time Morosi said, great insight to Cody. Cody was like, wow, thank you.
Yeah, when Morosi told me that I had great insight,
that was great insight by you, Cody.
That, haters.
Yeah, that's going on your profile just like this is. Matt Eberflus. Luke is a great leader. Not that he just likes me. He knows that I'm a great leader. And you know what a great leader does? It finds a way to get you better players on your team.
Absolutely.
So here I am again on Wild Thought Wednesday.
Yep.
Barb wants to know, did I have a mullet? Yeah, back in the day. Wild Thought Wednesday. If I can get Dylan Cease here, I could also solve our bullpen. I'll be honest with you. I've been out on the idea of signing Hader. I know you didn't love it. You're like, oh, don't spend $100 million on Hader,
I hate
right?
it, yeah. I still basically hate it. I'm starting to creep in a little bit
too. See, that's where I'm at. Because they've done nothing, now my mind is starting to wander and think, maybe Hader's not the worst idea. And here's why.
And I should preference that I said what I've said before Ohtani was off the board. I think even before the Soto trade was even made. I'm still out on it, but depending on how things play out, I could be talked into it.
Let's say he wants $100 million. Right? That's the magic number. He wants to hit 100. Okay, it's a lot of money for a reliever who could blow out his arm, and you could be looking at $100 million for one season. It could happen that quickly. And there is nothing more volatile than a bullpen. Right? We've seen that. Like, bullpen, you think you have a great bullpen going into the season, and then you have nothing.
Sure.
But Hader is one of those guys. Now, while he did have a rough time in 22 with the Padres, he turned it around last year. Last year he was great. He's 29. His ERA 1.28 and 61 appearances last year. And he loves pitching at Wrigley. Loves pitching at Wrigley Field. 0 runs ever given up by him at Wrigley Field. Now, that's something I'd like to see in a Cubs uniform. And if I'm speaking to the Godfather, Michael Collado out there, who says we don't have a closer,
he always lets us
while
know.
I'm a huge fan of ALLCITY as the closer, love the energy, love the fist pump, love ALLCITY embracing that and wanting that role last offseason. I'm also a realist when I say the bullpen would be even better if it was Hader and ALLCITY.
Oh, yeah.
And it doesn't have to be ALLCITY never closes a game again. The days when Hader can't close, it's ALLCITY. But I love the idea of having 3 guys be available to me whenever I need them most. Merriweather, Hader, ALLCITY. Take some of the pressure off ALLCITY, and it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. But if you're not going to boost up the rotation as much as I might want, or Cody might want, or whoever in the chat might want, I'm not so sure Hader's a horrible idea anymore. I sure as hell don't want him going to the Dodgers, which is another rumor. Like, him going to the Dodgers will just make me throw up. Then it's almost like, why do we even play?
Right.
But, Cody, here's the final thing I'll say on this to try and reel you in on Hader. Just because you give him $100 million doesn't mean he doesn't turn into a very expensive trade chip later on. Okay? Yeah. If some of these young guys down on the farm who haven't shown it yet, or if Wisniewski figures it out, or if whoever the guy down on the farm might be, if Luke Little comes up and all of a sudden you're like, wow, we got this guy right in our own system, which you might. If some of those guys develop, now you have a surplus in the bullpen, and you might be able to turn ALLCITY or Hader or whoever into a nice trade deadline piece for somebody else that helps restock the farm system again, or get you that leadoff guy that you might need, or get you whoever that might be. Just because you give a guy $100 million doesn't mean you can't turn him into something else a year later.
Yeah. I'll say this about Hader, too, is like, he has been nothing but consistent. So, like, when you talk about how bullpens are volatile, you know, he's like an outlier. He is someone who you can bank on 30-plus saves a year. He's pitched over 50 innings the last 3 seasons. Obviously, 2020, there was only 60 games, so you weren't going to hit that mark. But even in 2019, he pitched 75. In 2018, 81. Of course, 2018 and 2019, he was used in like multiple innings. So I think as moving forward, he's probably just a 1-inning guy, and that's fine. That's all you need him for, right?
Lefty, by the way, too.
And he's a left-handed,
which you need.
He's a left-handed dominant closer. I mean, it's never been that I didn't think he was good or that he was not going to be good with the Cubs or, because of age or anything like that. It was just more about knowing how this organization works, like investing that kind of money into a guy who's just going to pitch the 9th inning. It scares me into like them not acting big on other guys. So it's never been about that I don't think that he would be good on the team or anything like that. It's always just been about like how this organization manages money. And it shouldn't be like that. I shouldn't be afraid about that, blah, blah, blah. I've ranted about it enough. Everyone in the YouTube chat rants about it every single day. But you take all that aside, he would be a great addition to the Cubs bullpen. And you are right. As long as there's no trade clause, obviously.
Right.
He would be a guy that, if things go downwards, you could trade him
easily
and get something probably.
Or if it doesn't have to go downwards. He's still pitching great, but you have other guys that are ready to take over at a much cheaper price.
Sure.
The difference between Hader and another player that's a position player where you're like, oh, I don't want to give that guy $300 million, $400 million is a closer's not going to ask for a 9-year deal, an 8-year deal, a 7-year deal. So it's just a big chunk of money up front, which again, unless he gets hurt, you're able to move off of. That's why bringing in Kimbrel wasn't the worst idea, because you were still, even if he starts to suck for a while, it's just the injury that you worry about for moving. But $100 million is something that the Cubs could absorb.
Sure. Yeah.
And think of when the Cubs last year, they went in with all these ideas of this is what we want our offseason to be. We want the shortstop, yada, yada, yada. But all of a sudden, because this is their philosophy, they let the market sort of come to them, right? That we know that we've seen it and we're seeing it again. That let the market come to them. And last year, all of a sudden, the market presented, hey, wait a minute. We can make ourselves much, much better defensively. It seems like a small, tiny thing, right? They started just trying to improve the defense on the team. Okay. Well, maybe you didn't go into the offseason saying, I need to have an absolute closer for $100 million. But maybe now you look at it and say, we might not be able to fix first and third and center and 2 spots in the starting rotation. So maybe Wicks and some other guys do start to pick up the rotation, but we can help them out by having just the most badass bullpen we possibly could have.
Yeah.
To go with the defense up the middle. It's not a horrible shift in philosophy halfway through this if it's not going well.
Yeah.
You coming around? Are you coming around, Cody?
It's
not yet?
Not yet. I need to see how they make this offense better, because it doesn't matter how good a pitching you have. If your offense isn't better, you're not going to score runs, as we saw last year with it being so inconsistent. So I think Josh Hader is a guy that legitimately could go into February still unsigned. So we'll see.
I wouldn't be against it.
We'll see. I mean,
depending on how things go, I wouldn't be against it.
It makes a lot of sense in terms of Craig Counsell.
That's the other thing.
Having
time with Counsell.
Counsell
what does Counsell think
him.
of him?
Apparently, they both really like each other. Cool, great. Yeah. Again, it has everything to do with just how they would manage money, but I've never been against not adding Josh Hader to this bullpen. They need bullpen help. They need more depth. I've thought this offseason they needed to add more 6th, 7th inning guys and roll into spring training with ALLCITY as your closer. I think at least knowing who your closer is going into spring training is good. It's better. But that, if you have Hader, then you can put Merriweather and ALLCITY, down an inning, you know what I mean? Slot them down a little bit. and then maybe you don't need to add as much depth. But so there's two different scenarios there.
He becomes, for lack of a better term in other sports, becomes a multiplier, right? You add him to the bullpen, he only makes should make ALLCITY even more effective, should make Merriweather even more effective, should make, hopefully, Mark Leiter Jr., if his arm doesn't fall off, more effective, even more effective this offseason. But, man, we looked for that lefty reliever last year, and now you say, well, one of the best in the game is available to you, and all you have to do is spend money, right? All you have to do is spend the money. You don't have to give up prospects for him, so...
Gary and Barb, stop fighting in the chat.
Please, no fighting in the chat.
No
and
fighting
Becky
in the
said
bleachers,
she's not
no
going to be
fighting
here
in
tomorrow
chat.
because she has a lunch date with some friends. Well, bring your phone, and you guys can all sit around the table and watch and join from there.
Yeah, watch
We're
us
mobile.
talk about nothing.
CHGO Cubs mobile.
Look at us. Credit to us.
Credit to us for being very mobile. Hey, you know who's mobile, by the way? If you want to do something easy from home, maybe you want new flooring in your new apartment. Cody's looking around for a new place. Maybe he's trying to find a place. Maybe he's looking for a condo where he can fix it up a little bit. Maybe a fixer-upper, right? Empire Today. They keep shopping for floors simple with a curated product selection. Their philosophy is to help you find what you need, not overwhelm you with 1,000 choices. So they say, this is the best stuff out there. This is the best bang for your buck. It's going to wear well. It's going to look good. It's not going to stretch out too much. This is the floor you want, or this is the premium vinyl flooring that you might want. And they've got this virtual floor designer. Snap a picture with your phone. I still snap a picture like this, like I'm taking it with a real camera. Uh-huh. Okay, snap the picture with your phone.
Yeah.
You can see what that flooring is going to look like in your new space or in your old space, wherever that might be. Maybe you're trying to you spruce up one of the rooms in your house a little bit. Shopping for floors at a big box store can be frustrating because you might be talking to somebody who was working in plumbing yesterday. Flooring is all they do at Empire, and they service their own warranties. You don't have to track down a manufacturer's phone number if something goes wrong, heaven forbid. They service their own warranties. They'll help you out. Schedule a free in-home estimate today. All listeners can receive a $350 off discount. The Godfather, Michael Collada, right here on the live chat, said he did it. Empire was out. They love us. He used the code CHGO, and now he's got $350 more sitting in his pocket with new flooring on the way. Restrictions apply. See EmpireToday.com/CHGO for details. And by the way, while you're out shopping this holiday season, remember, it's getting easier for businesses to switch to electric vehicles. That's something we can all get behind for the health of the planet and for the well-being of all of us who share this beautiful place.
Yeah, absolutely, Luke. The electric grid is evolving to meet your cleaner energy needs as we all move with confidence toward an electric tomorrow. Whether you have one delivery van or a whole fleet of shipping trucks, ComEd can help guide you to make the changes that make sense.
Oh, so what should business owners do, Cody?
Well, Luke, let me tell you. Go to ComEd.com/clean to learn more about the resources, fleet rebates, and infrastructure incentives available to help businesses go electric. If you own a business, don't wait. Start making your plan today to switch to electric vehicles. Good for business, good for the planet, good for all of us. Go to ComEd.com/clean.
Did you say ComEd.com/clean?
Yeah, go now. See how going electric connects us to a better way of doing business and a better future for generations to come. Becky said that she's going to Olive Garden, so everyone is
buongiorno.
Let me tell you about the like bottomless like breadsticks and salad at Olive Garden.
Great deal.
Oh my goodness!
Sometimes those breadsticks really hit.
They do,
don't they?
My guy Dom Frederick, he loves.
I think you say
those
they slap.
breadsticks.
Sometimes those breadsticks really slap.
They do. But like sometimes when you need a rally or whatever, my guy Don Frederick, as he says, you got to go to Olive Garden to like switch the vibes.
You ever do the tour of Italy there?
No.
Yeah, that's where you get three different things. You get the unlimited breadsticks and salad, but maybe the tour of Italy is you get three of something. So you pick from the thing, and it's like, oh, I can get a thing of lasagna, I can get chicken Alfredo, and I can get ravioli. Tour of Italy, it's like all three things. And then you just sit there and eat breadsticks until you pass out on the table.
Another thing, while we were reading the ads.
Oh, we got a super chat.
We have a super chat, and I
met.
It's from the setup, man. I did meet him at winter meetings. Said he's heading to CubsCon this year. First one, he said he met Cody at the winter meetings and had him on my show. That I did. Let's do the same with you at CubsCon, Luke.
I'm in. Let's do it.
Yeah, if you're there. Also, speaking of CubsCon, the Cubs just tweeted like 6 minutes ago that the core from '84, the 5 people that will be there for that panel will be Jody Davis, Bobby Dernier,
Rhino,
Gary Matthews, Ryan Sandberg, and Rick Sutcliffe, which...
Not surprised.
Not surprised by at least 3 of those.
All would be there any year.
Yeah, I feel like all 5 of those are there every single year. And nothing against them, but like...
No, nothing at all. But if I had to pick 5, I could have guaranteed those 5 people probably would have been at Cubs convention anyway.
And I assume the guys they'll have from 16 will be Miguel Montero, Dexter Fowler. I'm trying to think of guys who've been
from 16. Ben Zobrist will go.
He hasn't been to Cubs convention,
but he
forever.
will. This will be the year.
Maybe this is the year. Ben Zobrist is there. Then we have to get him back on the pod again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, he is our best friend, isn't he?
He is our best friend.
Just call him up.
Yeah. I'll just text this guy and be like, hey,
Besties.
are you guys going to be at Cubs convention? Yeah. I don't know. Like, there's just so many guys from 16 are still playing, right? So, I'm trying to think. Maybe Lester? Lester has never came to Cubs convention. Like, I don't know if he would come for this, but it would be sick if John Lester came to Cubs
Dexter
convention.
will be there for sure.
Just based off his relationship with Marquis.
Absolutely. Boy, who else will they get to show up? I think Zobrist is on the list.
Oh, that'd be sick. Maybe Joe. Well, maybe Joe Madden.
No, won't be Joe Madden.
David Ross.
I don't think David Ross. No.
I think David Ross is going to take a couple years off from Cubs convention.
I think he and Madden will pass on that. Both pass on that, at least for now. Hey, by the way, Sean from the CHGO Sox podcast has chimed in with us on our work channel Slack and said, if the Cubs are getting Cease, the package starts with Ben Brown and Cade Horton. Go pound sand.
That's going to be a no for me, dog.
Yeah, good luck for whatever you get for a rental.
Yeah. Again, I don't think...
I like the guy. Not happening.
We're talking...
Sean. Now Sean's back. He's back.
It's Wild Thought Wednesday for a reason, brother.
Sean's saying, how's the team looking so far? The exact same as last year? If you're referring to the Sox, the answer is yes.
Why is Sean in the Cubs beat? I don't understand why he's in there.
Listen,
not in the White Sox.
He knows they're headed for a 100-loss season. He's just trying to find another podcast to get on. We know.
Well, he was once a Cubs fan back in the day, and then he was offended by Sammy Sosa, which I don't understand, and I never will, but whatever.
Yeah.
So
you ready for the final segment of this hot show?
This is the best part of the show today, right?
So, this is the time of season. Holidays can be good for people and great, and it's great times, or it can be a little tough, right? So I thought to myself, geez, that seems a lot like the Cubs off season. Right now, it could be holidays. They could sign Bellinger and get us Bieber and get us Naylor, and all of these great... Hader could be signed. All these great things could happen. Or it could be a lonely holiday season with just, some expired eggnog.
Yeah.
And so I thought, what are the songs? Everybody likes to have those 24 hours Christmas. It starts like in October. That one radio station in town goes 100% Christmas songs 24 hours a day. That's all they do.
The worst.
Okay?
Sorry.
And you start going into stores on Halloween and they're playing Jingle Bells and you're like, oh, right? I can't take it. So we came up with a list of songs that right now are giving us the feels about the Cubs off season. I'll go. We're going to reveal them one at a time. I'm going to start with number one's an easy one. Numb. And I like the remix version, Jay-Z and Linkin Park.
It's a great song in general.
That's all you need to know. I'm a little bit numb this off season.
Yeah.
Do you want me to do my whole 5, or do you want to?
Yeah, go ahead.
How do you want to do it, Sarah?
I think we should just do like you first. All
right,
5,
I'll give you all. Okay, my second one, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, The Waiting, right? The Waiting. Take it on faith. You take it to the heart. The waiting is the hardest part. All right, there's a little faith in Jed Hoyer. I take it to the heart, but the waiting is the hardest part. All right, another one of my favorites. Tom Petty's one of my favorites. Foo Fighters are another one of my favorite bands. So mine's gonna skew a little bit older than some others. But the Foo Fighters and Dave Grohl, Best of You. Is somebody getting the best you? Are we getting the best of the Cubs this offseason, or are we just getting a kind of close to good offseason? Or not even, are we just getting average this offseason? We want the best of you this offseason, Cubs. That's what we're looking for. So far, Counting Crows will tell you it's been a long December. Long December. A long December, and there's reason to believe maybe this year will be better than the last. That's the line in the song. And that was written while he was in a mental hospital. That
really?
Song, yeah, he's talking about long December. He's looking out the windows. I believe that's a true story, that he was in a mental hospital for a little while, and he was looking out the windows, and he wrote Long December. Now, the last one, another legendary band, some would say better than Bruce Springsteen.
Wow.
Bon Jovi. Living on a prayer.
I'm living on Corey a prayer so much.
I'm living on a prayer, baby. I want Bellinger. I want Bieber. I want Hader. And I want some other things to happen. I'm living on a prayer. I'm still holding out hope. We're halfway there. Whoa, living on a prayer. Mm-hmm. We're halfway through this bad boy, and I'm just living on a prayer right now, Cubs. That's all I got for you. 5 songs that I can't get out of my head as I just sit here every day and try to come up with something to talk about on this podcast. Those 5 songs are giving me the feels this holiday / Cubs off season.
Credit to us for giving people a good playlist to make.
That's right. You know what? You know who's watching this right now? Danny Rocket's coming up with all the tunes for this right now. He's thinking of all these new songs he can play.
All right. I guess with mine, this will be very telling of what kind of person I am, just based off the bands, because it's like all like alternative rock from like the 90s or 2000s, mixed with one 90s pop song. We'll start with Unwell by Matchbox 20.
Oh,
all right.
Oh, little Matchbox 20. Okay.
I love me some Matchbox 20. I'm not crazy. I'm just a little impaired. All right.
That's good. Yeah, good.
I'm unwell, right?
Yeah.
Next
okay
up, this is also for my millennials. I Want You Back by NSYNC. All right. I want you back.
Now that's Timberlake in sync, right?
Yes,
okay,
yes.
Yeah.
And JC Chavez and Lance Bass and whoever else.
Got it.
Missing.
Not New Kids.
I Want You Back. It's more so for like Cody Bellinger, but also like I do miss Cubs baseball in December. Like I miss going to the Federal Landmark on Fridays at 120s or the weekend, whatever. I live for baseball in the summer. Number 3, Here Without You by Three Doors Down. I'm here without you, baby. Another reason. Another thing.
I know the band, but I don't know if I know that lyric. Okay.
You don't know Here Without You?
I probably do if you played it, but
you would know it. It's a classic. All right. That's related to Cody Bellinger too. I'm still waiting, but also related to just missing the Cubs. Hanging by the Moment by Lifehouse.
I know that one. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hanging by a thread right now, guys, with this offseason. I'm hanging by a thread, hanging by the moment. And then finally, because of it's this podcast, One Last Breath by Creed.
Oh, yeah.
One Last Breath. How the lyrics go.
What about Higher? Can I take you?
I was looking them up. I always forget the lyrics to the song.
Somebody in the chat had a good one here. Where did I just see this? Barb said, what are they talking about? Brandon had Slipknot, Duality. I push my fingers into my eyes. It's the only thing that slowly stops the ache.
Yeah.
That's solid. That's solid.
The like hook for One Last Breath by Creed. Hold me now. I'm 6 feet from the edge, and I'm thinking maybe 6 feet ain't so far down.
There you go.
That is what the Cubs have put me through this offseason.
See what I'm talking about? Giving you the feels. Music
sing this song in a
sing
this song in a monotone, and you'll be dead inside.
That's right. There are times that music and athletics are a perfect marriage, and right now there are a lot of songs, a lot of sad songs that are lining up with this slow and boring off season.
Yeah. Gary asks, Cody, aren't you excited about another minor league catcher? of course, I still haven't watched the highlights yet. I'm going to give you all a nice 2-minute emergency podcast about him and the other guy they signed the other day, too, eventually.
Shane has Summertime Sadness. Who sings that?
It's the
I know that song.
Sadness.
I know the song.
Oh, God. I know the whole song. I can't remember
Sarah,
who it
let's
is.
see your 5. What do you got? I'll look up
Yes,
Summertime
I made a list, and mine is more Gen Z, probably, than your guys's.
I will
Keebert
try
says
not
I
to
want it
try.
that way.
I will try
So
not to do
Godfather.
my first one is "Far" by SZA, which is if people know these songs, they'll just know.
Yes,
But
this is newer stuff.
We're very far away from anything good. That's
right. Yes.
We're very
Yes,
far
that's right.
away from
That's
good.
right, Sarah. You're correct.
But then a positive, I did "We Can Work It Out" by the Beatles. So things, try
Okay,
to find
we
a
can
silver
work it out.
lining. Yeah, little
Possibly with Bellinger.
Possibly. And
Lana
then this
Del
is
Rey is
just
Summer Sadness.
because I'll always be a Cubs fan no matter how bad we are. So I'm just hopelessly devoted to you, which is from the
okay.
musical Grease. I feel like that's
Grease.
Did I spell it wrong?
You did.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
I
you
did.
gave it the country.
Well,
but
this
that's
is
all
why
right.
this is my graphic. It doesn't matter.
It sounds like Sarah anyway. She has a lot of typos.
Yeah.
That's all right. This is you.
And then Still Don't Know My Name by Labyrinth. That's also just like being very confused with your identity and place in life, which
That's
I feel
right.
like the Cubs are very having
where we're
identity
at.
Yeah.
crisis right now.
We're very confused.
Barb wants to know if we like AC/DC. Sure, I do.
I do like AC/DC.
TNT, Dynamite.
And then my last one is Hurt Feelings by Mac Miller because I'm just hurt. And I'm just waiting and I'm ready to be hurt again because
Absolutely.
that's where this off season is going. So these are mine.
Those are good. I like those. Yeah, The Godfather, Michael Collada said Crazy Train.
Yeah.
From Ozzy Osbourne, I see Mike Taylor has Michael Jackson. Bad. There's too many.
Craig says I have a
There's
highly questionable music taste.
There's a lot of sad music out there.
Oh yeah.
A lot of, if you want some Smashing Pumpkins sadness, there's about 6 or 7 albums of it.
Yeah.
Right? Anybody else got a good one out there? Somebody's asking if we like Taylor Swift.
I think
Hurt
that's
by
what Barb
Cash
asked.
is Shane.
Yeah.
Yeah, me right now.
Am I a Taylor Swift fan? No.
I'm
You're not a
either.
Swiftie.
No, but I am in my iPad era, so credit to me.
I like Taylor Swift, but I don't actively seek her music. It kind of just, if it's on, I'm just conditioned to know all of her music. I don't know how, but
I'm not
am.
even really I'm not a Taylor Swift hater. I'm just not
Yeah,
I think she's
like her.
insanely talented, but
Yeah.
she's just not she's not my vibe.
Yeah, same.
So
Keybert
Anyway.
has 9 Inch Nails, the downward spiral.
the downward spiral.
Hello, Adele. That's good, Donnie. Hello,
Hello.
it's me.
Oh god.
Barb said she heard Bellinger once 12 years. Well, we all do. Arctic Monkeys, Do I Want to Know? It's a newer song. I definitely know that song, but I couldn't sing it to you. Anyways, we'll throw them out on social media if you want to put your top 5 songs of the offseason out there. See if you can match what we have going. Frank Sinatra, I Did It My Way.
Corey
Big
in
market team.
in Slack, Corey put I Want to Kill Somebody by Adam Sandler.
Oh.
From Wedding Singer, I believe is where that's from.
Yeah, Ryan. You want me to find Ryan's?
Ryan
had
put
a
someone
few.
by the Chainsmokers in the chat.
Yeah, Ryan chimed in on his off day. Don't Let Me Down, Chainsmokers, and Drake, Laugh Now, Cry Later.
Yeah.
I'd prefer
I'm sure
the
there's
other
something
way.
by Drake that you can put in there that's relatable.
Barb said
Oh,
Wrecking Ball by
Great
Miley
call,
Cyrus.
Barb.
Yeah.
I didn't know Barb was a Miley Cyrus fan, but
Wow.
Wrecking Ball.
I see her being a Cyrus fan.
Wrecking ball.
You could do. I saw someone said Lonely, but
Oh,
they were
yeah.
saying by
I'm So
someone
Lonely
else.
by I know the Akon version.
I was thinking of the Justin Bieber song Lonely.
There you go. That one works too.
We could probably come up with, I bet you we could come up with at least 50 songs in less than a half hour.
At least, yeah.
In less than a half hour. But
If
I
we
like
want
mine.
depressing, 1-800 by Logic. Yeah.
Alice in Chains would.
That's
funny. Oh, rumor has it, Adele. That's
I
a
only
good
know
one.
the one song from Adele.
Yeah.
Hello.
I'm not Adele.
It's me.
Yeah.
I don't know the rest of it. Hey, Cody, tell us about Midtown Athletic Club, because this might be the playlist you take with you.
Yeah.
to push you through a workout. Some of these inspiring off-season songs.
They're so inspiring. Midtown Athletic Club is my favorite place to go to when I'm not here, if you didn't know. But the one that I like to go to is the one here in the city in Bucktown/Lincoln Park. But they have 3 other locations. You got the one in Palatine where my guy Mike Talkman goes to, the one in Bannockburn on the North Shore, and then the one in the southwest suburbs in Willowbrook. The one in Palatine, they just launched a multi-million-dollar transformation of the club, which will be complete early on next year. Listeners can lock in favorable rates if they join before the end of the year. And there's something for everyone at Midtown, all right? Single people like me, families with kids like Luke, people just looking to make lifestyle changes, holistic wellness, all those types of things. It's the nicest fitness club I've ever been to, folks. And one of the things that I really, 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 really enjoy about it is the fact that with your membership, all the classes come with it.
That's huge.
Exactly. They have the super luxe locker rooms with wet and dry saunas and premium amenities. And one of the things that we have not mentioned on the show is the fact that they, like, when you go in, they give you like this, I guess you could call it like a wristband, but it locks your locker. So you don't even have to bring a lock. You just like,
oh, really?
You just like hold it up to like where it locks and it unlocks or locks. Yeah.
Man, I need that for my door at home.
Same.
Dealing with keys.
It's
all the
real
time.
like technological stuff. It was really impressive to me. They have amazing outdoor and indoor pools and hot tubs. And they consider their collection of boutique fitness studios with more than 100 classes per week. They're not gym quality. They are boutique quality. That's what they say. So, and on top of it, they have some of the best tennis courts and programming in the sport. Midtown has indoor and outdoor tennis, pickleball and paddle tennis, USTA professional quality all the way. So head on over to midtown.com/CHGO to find out more and to tour the Midtown Athletic Club nearest you.
Very nicely done. Very nicely done.
And the Cubs aren't doing anything,
still
so I got to
rolling.
just like continue to work out all my anger and anxiety. So.
Oh, best of all, I Need a Doctor by Dr. Dre and Eminem.
Ooh,
That's how I feel for real about the Cubs. Go
doctor.
listen to it. Forever hasn't heard that song.
Yeah, it's a great song. I know what song you're talking about.
It's good. That's good, too.
There has to be other songs by Eminem you can throw in there.
Wrecking Ball's a good
Stan
one.
by Eminem. That's a good one.
What's
That'd be
the
good.
theme song to Titanic?
My Heart Will Go
Celine
On.
Dion.
Yeah. That's a good one.
That works.
That's the Way It Is by
We could
Celine
have Cody
Dion.
just strapped to the front of a ship going out on Lake Michigan.
Lower me down.
That'd be a
Into the
good
cold,
graphic.
icy water. There's Cody chained to the front of a barge.
All you can do is laugh through the pain.
All right.
you can
Well,
do.
maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow's the day we get something.
Maybe we'll sign someone tomorrow. Maybe we make a trade. I don't know, man. I got nothing for y'all. But I just appreciate y'all hanging out with us every day.
I mean, you guys save us.
Because, I don't know how we would do this without
slow
y'all.
lane, late Jimmy Buffett. They're saving us. All right. Thanks for checking out the CHGO Cubs podcast. We are back live 1:20 on Thursday right here. I believe Kevin Wells is going to be back with us. Blackhawks podcast coming up next live here on the YouTube channel. Make sure you check that out. Hit the thumbs button on the way out, and don't forget to check us out on social media. Send us your 5 songs. Send us your 5. If you want to send us 50 songs, send us 50 songs. Let us know what you think. Until then, thanks for watching, and fly the W.
We all silly like the mayor.